Bullet Club.
Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you've been with us before, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time. This is Lee Allen Presents. I am Alan and this is Leanne. And as you've already seen from the title card around about 15 seconds ago, these are our predictions for the forthcoming All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view. Get the PLE out of here. We don't do that stuff no more. Full Gear, which is coming to us on November 22nd. So in about, well, as we're recording this 2 days' time, we have just finished watching Dynamite and Collision from last night, so the lead-in Dynamite Collision to the pay-per-view. But Full Gear was what we here to talk about, and this is coming to us from the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, as already mentioned, on the 22nd of November. So just before we get any further into this, there is going to be a tailgate brawl, which seems to be the new thing for AEW. It does have 3 matches on it, but since it's technically an episode of Collision, we're not going to cover them. We are just going to briefly mention the 3 matches. So this almost is like I hate the way they do this. I'd rather this be a 0 hour or a buy-in show as opposed to a separate thing on a different platform. But a decision's been made, and so be it. So on that, we've got Doom and Boom, which is Big Boom AJ and QT Marshall, and they'll be taking on Roppongi Vice, or RPG Vice. I don't think they can call themselves Roppongi Vice anymore. So that's Trent Barretta and Rocky Romero. We also have Anthony Bowens and Max Caster versus the Outrunners versus the Bang Bang Gang, also known as Bullet Club Gold. I still like to call them Bullet Club Gold. Yep. Versus Big Bill and Brian Keith in a $200,000 tailgate brawl 4-way match. So the winner of that match gets $200,000. And then we also have defending the CMLL Trios Championships, Al Sky Team, which is Neon, Caristico, and Mascara Dorada. And they're taking on the Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita, Kazuchika Okada, and Hechicero. As I say, because we don't see these as a part of the pay-per-view, it is literally a different event, although saying that, last month's one did roll into the pay-per-view. It's a bit awkward.
It's a head scratcher.
It is a bit of a thing.
It's partly out of principle for that first one where we had no idea what was going on for
exactly,
like half an hour.
Yeah.
So out of principle, I don't want to do it.
Literally, that first one said, it's a special edition of Collision.
Yes.
And it's the tailgate brawl. So because of that, we're seeing this as an episode of Collision, and it is like the second hour of Collision, which is taking place 2-3 days later. Yes. That's the way we see it. Therefore, we're not covering those matches. So, with that out of the way, we are going to be covering all 9 scheduled matches for the pay-per-view. 1, 2, 3, 4 non-title matches, 5 title matches.
Nice balance.
Nice balance, yeah. Agreed. I think finding a dud match in this is going to be very difficult, but we'll go there. So if you haven't seen the way we do this before, we will run that down for you now. So I've got the matches listed down here with some vague notes. We're going to cover this since the occurrence of the last pay-per-view, which is Wrestle Dream. We didn't end up covering Wrestle Dream, unfortunately, because life got really busy in October. As such, we won't be covering World's End either because it happens right around a busy time for us with family and the holidays and whatnot. So this will be our last predictions video of the year. We will be putting a social media post with our predictions for World's End, which is next month, but it'll be a graphic image. Yeah. Much like we did for Wrestle Dream last month. So what I've done is I've gone through and put the matches in an order that I'm least excited for and most excited for, in non-title first, followed by titles on the line. So first match we're going to talk about in that vein will be Death Riders Pac taking on Darby Allin. So obviously there's unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the Death Riders, Darby Allin, conglomeration, they've all been sort of feuding with the Death Riders, or feuding with each other rather, for quite some time now. And it just has no sort of semblance of slowing down. And we did get the Blood and Guts match last week on Dynamite, where it was the Death Riders taking on the conglomeration and Darby Allin, which did see Team Conglomeration win. Yeah. But during that match, Pac got out of the cage along with Darby Allin, and Gabe Kidd was there as well from Bullet Club War Dogs from New Japan Pro Wrestling. They accosted Darby Allin, took him up to the ramp. They were setting up the tables. Kid came out with some lighter fluid, set them on fire, Pac threw Darby Allin through them, and you could see he was still on fire after he rolled up the table. That stuff does go out quite quick. It is safe's probably not the right word.
It's safe. It's the safest you can get with fire, I suppose.
It's safer than other possible solutions for that. You could see when he rolled over, he was still on fire. You could see him rolling onto some towels, and you surmised it might be
potentially set
damp
down
towels.
I don't know, but they if they're using fire, they are putting as many precautions as they can in place. So
absolutely.
And Darby Allin clearly knew exactly what to do.
I still don't think this was the most dangerous of his stunts. I still think that one from Revolution where he teamed with Sting going through that glass, that was the most insane, not incredible, insane thing he's ever done, I think.
Yes.
So then, obviously after that, we haven't seen Darby Allin since on AEW TV since that. I mean, there has only been a week.
Yeah.
But there has been a Collision, Dynamite, and a separate Collision at the same time as just after Dynamite last night, as we're recording this. And we haven't seen Darby Allin, but on the Collision after Blood and Guts, Pac did make a challenge to Darby Allin, which was accepted by Tony Khan on behalf of Darby Allin, which is where this match comes from. I don't quite know how I feel about this match. No. I feel this probably should have been done on an episode of Dynamite or Collision first, and then have some higher stakes attached to it on a pay-per-view. You could have done it like on Collision or Dynamite last night or next week, and then the Death Riders all get involved, the Conglomeration all get involved, and then it's like, right, okay, we need to nip this in the bud. I want to sort this. I want to settle this. Let's have a one-on-one at World's End, for example. Let's make it Steel Cage or No Holds Barred or something like that. And then you could have had a bigger blow-off. I just feel like this is kind of...
vanilla.
A bit vanilla, especially for Darby Allin.
In terms of AEW, which is... It sets the bar pretty high anyway. Yeah, I get you. It's sort of...
It's not even that. It just feels like it's kind of tacked on a little bit.
Yeah, there's no stakes. There's no stipulations. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to be a bad match, but
no, not by a long shot.
For a pay-per-view, it is like you'd expect big stuff and more build-up. But I mean, the build-up they had during Blood and Guts, is that enough? Maybe. We'll see how it plays out. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a single dud match on this card. I mean, there is one that probably ranks up there, but that's because of a certain individual. But we'll get into that later on. You've seen this channel before, and you've seen our predictions before. You know exactly what we're talking about.
You know.
But we'll get there. So, okay, let's get into the first predictions there, Leanne. Who do you think is going to win? And just as a side note, for anyone who's not seen the channel before, Leanne is very easily swayed in terms of these kind of things. So if I was to say, oh, I think Pac's going to win, Leanne will think of my rationale and go, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because he knows what he's talking about.
I've been watching this since I was 15, 16. That's a long time ago. I'm not going to tell you how many years that is. But yeah. I don't mean AEW, I mean wrestling in general. But yeah. So on that back of that, though, who have you got winning?
I think I'll probably go Darby. I think it is quite tricky because there's sort of Death Riders have been, I don't know, there's a bit of a downturn in luck maybe, but then with Blood and Guts, they won, didn't they? No, they didn't. I'm getting so mixed up.
No, they lost.
So is Pac winning in a sort of vanilla, for lack of a better word, match? Does it fit within that kind of story that's building? So I'm going to say Darby. It could go either way, I think. I'm not quite sure.
TK, Tony Khan, hates disqualifications. He hates countouts, things like that. There's been a very, very fair few amount of those kind of finishes in AEW since its inception. I can see Yuta and Garcia and Claudio getting involved in both this and the other Death Riders match, which we will cover later on. But I think I have to agree with Darby Allin. I go for Darby Allin also. Mainly on the back of, well, Pac threw me through some flaming table. It's about time I take a pound of flesh.
Yes.
So unless this is in my mind, this is either going to end in a no contest of some sort, or Darby Allin's going to flip it and kind of do something hardcore or off the rails, wherever you sort of want to class it as. I haven't quite got it all straight in my head yet. We've been working lots. There's quite a busy time for us in general. Outside of work, inside of work, it's been nuts. So it's kind of difficult to make a lot of notes and kind of process everything as much as I usually would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there's scope for it to become a series and there to be no holds barred matches or falls count anywhere, that kind of thing. I mean, with Darby Allin, any match could turn into that.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think that sounds about right. Darby wins this one, and then we see where it goes from there.
I could tell you one thing for certain. Gabe Kidd, there's a 95% chance he will not show up.
Okay.
Because he is part of World Tag League, which has just started.
Okay.
And he is teaming up, I believe it was with Yota Tsuji, which blew my mind because that's a teaming.
So he's busy.
Anyway, so Darby Allin, we'll cover Darby Allin on that one. Okay, so next match we're going to talk about also involves the Death Riders, and this was made last night on Dynamite, and it features Jon Moxley, and they called him Jonathan Moxley then.
Jonathan
Moxley. He's going to be taking on Kyle O'Reilly in a no-holds-barred match. So, October 29th, which I believe was a Dynamite episode. Sorry, excuse me. They had a match there, and that ended in a double countout. They were both on opposing teams in Blood and Guts. Obviously, is Kyle O'Reilly part of the conglomeration. Jon Moxley is the leader of the Death Riders. And Moxley tapped out to Kyle O'Reilly.
It's pretty big.
Oh, dear. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that's the third time he's tapped out since he lost the title to Hangman.
I think so. How much longer can the Death Riders survive with Moxley at the head?
I was going to say, it's
out?
Yeah. How much longer will they
tolerate?
That's the word I was looking for. Tolerate Moxley tapping out, giving up.
Because there's a lot of loyalty there, and it is like a little bit brainwashy, culty kind of feel. So it could just stay like that with him sort of spinning it, but I don't know.
There needs to be, with any faction, any group, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's Death Riders or Bullet Club or Chaos in New Japan or Degeneration X back in the day, Nation of Domination even, there has to be forward momentum, changing of the guard even.
Yes.
You know, it's going to a point where Jay White got ousted from Bullet Club, and that's where David Finlay came in and took over the mantle, you know?
Yeah.
Back at the day of Nation of Domination, Farouk, Ron Simmons, he was the leader of Nation of Domination. The Rock came in, he became the biggest star, ousted Farouk, kicked him out of the group, became the leader of the Nation of Domination. There has to be a limit, and there has to be something that will snap, but who takes over?
That's what I was going to...
I don't think it's Claudio.
Marina Shafir.
Marina.
I keep getting her name wrong.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm wondering if Daniel Garcia might do it.
Oh, no.
I know.
No.
Or...
he looks like a sad puppy all the time.
Or... what if Roderick Strong takes over?
Interesting.
Because he's not part of the conglomeration. He is adamantly not a part of the conglomeration. He would literally say, no, I'm not dealing with this, for lack of a better term, crap that you're doing. This is childish. It's very infantile almost, the way that they sort of act and bounce around and chummy and chums and hugging. And Roddy's clearly not part of that. He's clearly not into that. And Roderick Strong has a victory over Moxley. I believe he made him tap, if my memory is correct.
Interesting.
Now, if that's the case, who's to say Roddy doesn't turn on Kyle O'Reilly and then join the Death Riders, and rather than join the Death Riders, oust Moxley from the Death Riders?
Take over the Death Riders. Yeah. Interesting.
So that's a potential. That's literally just popped in my head.
Yes.
And that's the best thing about these, when we start talking about them, sometimes I don't know where my thoughts are going. So. Have you got any other thoughts on this one?
No, I think it's going to be good. Kyle O'Reilly's really, shown his worth. It wasn't phenomenal. In doubt before, but his performance in Blood and Guts really stood out, I think.
Kyle
it might
O'Reilly's
have helped that he was covered in blood the whole time.
Kyle O'Reilly is an absolute beast. He's a phenomenal talent. He has the shards of Narsil tattooed on him.
Yes.
He's a nerd, and I totally respect that. And I always forget, when he came out at Dynamite last night, I think it was Dynamite last night, when he challenged Moxley, he still had his... I can't remember what they're called, diabetes thing.
Oh yeah, the thingy.
Yeah. And I always forget about that, and it's like, God, that's and it's quite a. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but I'm saying it's like he's not ashamed of showing it, because a lot of people are kind of, I don't really want people to see it. He's just like, screw it, bro, I don't care.
No nonsense.
And I think that's fantastic, and he's a great wrestler. He really is. And I think that him getting that submission victory over Jon Moxley definitely straps a bit of a rocket onto him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Leanne, who you got?
I'm sort of a little bit in two minds because I'm thinking like either follow the trajectory, which means O'Reilly wins, or O'Reilly gets overconfident because Moxley's tapped out multiple times and it's his downfall. Plus, you got external elements in there. I think that the way I would see it going more is the trajectory. So Kyle O'Reilly winning. So I'm going to say that, but I want it on record that it's not the only thing I think could happen.
Yeah. So is this a desired result or is this just a normal?
I think I'm going to just leave it as normal.
Just normal. Okay.
I always forget about desired result anyway.
So I'm going the opposite way in this one. I'm going Moxley.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Death Riders, it's no holds barred.
Yeah.
That means they can legally get involved.
Uh-huh.
There's no ramifications. Mark Briscoe's already got a match on this card. He's not going to be going anywhere. We don't know if any other conglomeration members in the Gauntlet Battle Royale, Casino Gauntlet match, rather. I think that Death Riders are definitely going to play a factor in this, and if they get their way, it's going to be Moxley winning this. So I'm sticking with Mox on this one, I think.
Yeah.
It's not what it's not what I necessarily want to see.
No.
But as much of a push as Kyle O'Reilly is going to get from this, I don't know if it's the right time. I think having this as a no holds barred gives them an opportunity to have Kyle O'Reilly lose while still looking strong.
Very true. Roderick Strong.
And that's the only reason why they've made it no holds barred in my mind.
Makes sense. It's like there's so many factors, like based on solely what we've talked about, forgetting all the stuff we've probably forgotten that could come into play. Mm-hmm. It could be that this is the moment that Death Rider's turn.
Yeah.
There's so much that could affect it. So it makes it quite a hard one to predict, but a fun one. Yeah. So we'll see.
And it's going to be a great match, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so next up then, we have it's a fatal 4-way tag match, which features Marina Shafir and Bayne taking on Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa, or the Timeless Love Bombs, I think they're calling themselves.
Yep.
The Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow Nightingale, and they're taking on the Sisters of Sin, Sky Blue and Julia Hart. The winner of this match gets to pick the stipulation for the semi-finals of the tournament, of the women's tag team title tournament. I don't know why I had such a hard time getting that out. It's a lot of words. It's been a long day as well. So obviously the new women's tag team titles were announced and the tournament brackets were put up. I believe that was just after Wrestle Dream, if I'm remembering correctly. One thing I'm loving about this is usually when there's a tournament, it's 2, 3, 4 matches per episode in the tournament. This has literally been 1 match per week.
Yeah,
and it's great because it builds that anticipation. It's not like, okay, that match is over. What we got next? Okay, that match is over. Here's the third one in that bracket. And then 3 weeks in, the tournament's pretty much done.
Yeah.
This has already been going for 4 weeks.
It's also got those like tangential things to it. Like there was a match where the person could then pick their first opponent in the first round.
Yes.
And this one where it's picking the stipulations. This isn't a tournament match, but it affects the tournament.
Yeah. And the match you know about that, it was Jamie Hayter and Queen Aminata chose to pick the Sisters of Sin in their first match, and they lost. That backfired. But only that, obviously, a lot of the women in this match were also in Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
The women's Blood and Guts match.
Had a very good outing.
All of them were. All of these women were in that match.
There we go.
Yeah. And that just goes to show it's not like, oh, well, they're not fighting in the tournament this week. They're having a week off. No, it's not.
Oh,
it's not.
They haven't stopped.
It's great. It's fantastic. I mean, that match alone was 45 minutes long. It really brings up that women's average in AEW, and I think it's great.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to this match. As I said, I don't think there's a bad match on this entire card, to be honest with you. Apart from maybe the Big Boom AJ one, but that's not on the card. So no. I mean, that's all I've really got. I'm looking forward to seeing who does end up getting the titles at the end of this tournament. When that, I'm assuming it's going to be at World's End, but I don't recall them saying when the finals are going to take place.
No.
But my instinct and my intuition is telling me it's going to be at World's End because we still have the 2 semi-finals matches followed by the finals. That's 3 matches total. You could do 1 a week. You could do one next week. You could do 1 2 weeks after, and then the fans at World End. That would probably work out quite nicely. I think that would be a nice way to cap it off as well. It's not just it's Dynamite. Let's crown the winners of the tournament. It's World's End. It's the final pay-per-view of 2025.
Yeah.
Let's crown the first ever women's tag team. I feel that has more authority to it, and it's like punchier, and it sounds better, and it's like, right, let's go.
Yep.
You know?
Definitely.
That being said, which of these 4 teams do you think is winning it?
Can you read up the teams again?
Yes, Marina Shafir or Megan Bayne, the Timeless Love Bombs, the Babes of Wrath, or the Sisters of Sin.
I do not know.
I
All 4 of those teams have shone. They're really good.
I'm surprised how well Marina and Megan are working together.
I was going to say, even though they've just like been thrust together as a team, or just jumped in together.
That's because Penelope Ford was injured.
Yeah, I think there was some comments about there's a lot of, they haven't got the non-verbal cues yet in their tag team style because they are still quite new, but they're both so strong, they're going to dominate even if they're just working separately. So.
And they're still winning and they're still on the same page. Yeah.
I might use my desired result on this one.
Okay.
And go for Sisters of Sin.
Sisters of Sin?
I'm not sort of convinced it's the outcome that's going to happen, but I feel like in terms of what the stipulation will be for the tournament final, these ladies will probably have the most interesting kind of take.
Okay. So we did see on Dynamite last night, they had different interviews with the different members of the teams of this, and the Sisters of Sin did have that really interesting kind of creepy vibe going across when they were talking, and then obviously Tekla shows up. I'm going Sisters of Sin.
But not as desired result?
Not as desired result, because think of it, it's a 4-way.
Yeah.
If Tekla gets involved, who gets disqualified?
Nobody.
No one, because there's no disqualifications.
Very true. Very true.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
That's what I want to see happen. I want to see the Sisters of Sin win this. I really do, because I think it'd be great. And this is the team I want to see win these titles.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I've had Julia Hart has been one of my favorites since she joined the House of Black a couple of years back, when obviously they were kind of feuding and then bringing Sky Blue into the fold, and then it's Sky Blue shone in that Blood and Guts match. She was incredible.
Also covered in blood.
Absolutely drenched. I hope she had a nice relaxing week off. I really do, for her sake.
Spa week and everything.
She has really come a long way.
Yeah, she's so
in the last
good.
couple of years. She really has. That's why I want to see win this match and the tournament itself.
Awesome.
Cool. And then the last non-title match we will be talking about today is a $1 million trios match, which features Josh Alexander and the Young Bucks taking on Jurassic Express and the Cleaner, the best bout machine, the one-winged angel himself, Kenny by God Omega. Oh, I'm so glad Kenny's back.
Yay.
Oh, I'm so happy to get to see him in the ring again. And with Jurassic Express, no less. You know, I've made it known that I like Jack Perry.
Yes.
And I'm glad they've not gone back to Jungle Boy. It's Jack Perry. You know, I think the worst thing they called it was Jungle Jack Perry.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You don't need the jungle in there, but screw it. Why not? You know. And obviously seeing Luchasaurus back is great as well.
Yay.
This has been very interesting. The Bucks are obviously looking for money. They are really hurting for money. They've lost their EVP status as of, I think it was either All In or All Out. I can't remember which event it was. But they lost their status. They've getting rinsed by everyone, from the production to the commentators to the ring announcers, everything. Everyone's just rinsing them so hard. And they're like, right, we need money to be able to pay for our pyro, for our entrance music, etc.
And to gamble away.
You need to watch Being the Elite. It's hilarious.
Gamble responsibly.
But then obviously Don Callis is sticking his nose in things, and he's saying, join us. You know, I'll make sure you got music every week. I'll make sure you got pyro. I'll make sure you never hurting for money. I'll give you money. I'll make sure you've got everything you need. And they kind of, you can see they're like, And they've been tallying this out for a couple of weeks, and Don Callis said he wanted his answer last night. So as they're attacking someone in the ring who I don't remember. Damn it, who was it?
Kenny was in the ring. No, they were attacking some.
Oh no, they were doing a promo.
Yeah.
I think they were waiting for the answer from the Bucks. They definitely had a match. It was a trios match. It was definitely a match. They win it. The Young Bucks and Josh Alexander win. I'm pretty sure it was a match. Kenny Omega comes out because he starts bipping off at Kenny Omega. So Kenny comes out with a chair, starts getting beaten up because he's obviously more of the Don Callis family than is Kenny Omega. And Don Callis is telling the Bucks, look, don't give me your answer. Show me your answer. give him the BTE trigger. So they've got Kenny there, and they're kind of like, what do we do? Do we hit them with this or not? And then out comes Jurassic Express with the save. So
with
it's
a vacuum cleaner.
With a vacuum cleaner, yeah, and a shovel.
Snow shovel.
Snow shovel, yeah. Just random. The snow shovel, yeah, okay, fair enough. And I literally said to you, no, we watch it. It's like, is that a vacuum cleaner?
Like a stand-up vacuum cleaner.
What? Okay, cool. Okay, you do you, Luchasaurus. We're not judging. But it's very much the Young Bucks are trying to be in it for themselves, but maybe they're also trying to atone at the same time. It's hard to kind of see where this is going a little bit. But they don't want to beat up Kenny. They don't want to do that, and it almost seems like they don't want to join the Callis family.
Yeah. They know Don Callis will take advantage.
Yeah, exactly.
He's already threatened them, not very subtly.
Yeah.
And sort of holding the money that he has provided in the entrances, holding that over them before they're even in there. So trying to make them feel as if they're indebted to him. So that's where the conflict comes in then. Yeah. They know it's wrong, but he's got a point sometimes.
Yeah. And it's just going to come to the point then of how is this going to go. So before going any further than that, if you got nothing else about this match, who you got?
I feel like Young Bucks to win.
Young Bucks and Josh Alexander?
Yeah, in my head. But so they win, but it's because of something that Don Callis does. So he spins it and then tries to use that as more leverage to get them to join. I feel like if they lose the match, it doesn't then make sense. Don Callis still kind of pursuing them to join the family because they've lost. That's what it's like in my head. There's probably some other logic at play that makes that not make sense, but it makes sense to me.
So I can see where you're going with that one.
Yeah.
And I think that is a valid argument. I think that is a very valid case. If the Bucks don't win this, Don Callis will want them. On the other hand of things, I think that Don Callis will probably try to get involved. He will probably pull out that screwdriver, which he likes to implement with his guys. Try to hand it to the Bucks and tell them to use it on Kenny. Because of his vitriol towards Kenny. But then they're going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. They'll throw the screwdriver down. Kenny and Jurassic Express will come back. They will win the match, which is what I am predicting. Kenny and Jurassic Express to win. And after the match, Don Callis and the rest of his goon squad will try and beat down the Bucks. To which Jurassic Express and Kenny Omega would try and do the save. Which then maybe leads the Bucks into a face turn.
Maybe.
I think.
That makes sense.
I think this one is more likely than Bucks joining Don Callis family, myself.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to join the Don Callis family, but it might be in my kind of timeline. It sort of draws out the conflicted feelings a bit more.
So if they don't join them, but they've won the match, Don Callis can still spend the money on them. So how do they get out of that one?
Yeah,
that's the trick of it that I've got. And yes, they could say no, but then they're just going to take a beating, right?
Yeah.
So it's I think the best option is I think of the two, the better option is the one I've come up with, but. Obviously, you think of it is what it is, and that's the whole point of the prediction video. So.
Yeah, it's a sort of thinking it through and having a guess, isn't it?
Yeah,
we shall see.
Yeah. So Kenny and Jurassic Express, because obviously, I mean,
the Kenny Express,
Jurassic Omega, no,
Jurassic Cleaners.
Obviously, the thing is, we aren't sure how many bumps Kenny's got left on his bump card as well. As much as that really pains me to say, I really don't want to see him have to give this up.
No, but he does need to stop before it's too late.
Yeah, exactly, and I don't want to see that. But yeah, so I think that this would be a nice little cap of because he might not be wrestling at the World's End. We don't know yet. He might be in the Continental Classic, but I don't know. It might be too much of a schedule for him. I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, so that's the last of our non-title matches that we're going to be talking about. And we've got some half and half with the differing at the moment, so that's interesting. So now we're going to move on to the title matches, again, from least looking forward to most looking forward to. The first match we're going to talk about is for the first ever AEW National Champion crowning, the Casino Gauntlet match. The only reason I've got this as my least looking forward to right now is because we only know 5 of the participants.
Yeah.
You need to give us a bit more than that to go on.
There may only be 5 participants.
There's usually around 20 from what I
Yeah.
gather. But due to matches last night on Dynamite, we do know number 1 and number 2 contenders in this match. So the first two guys starting this match. Number 1, Bobby Lashley. Number 2, Shelton Benjamin.
Yes.
Well, that's interesting.
I love it.
Both members of the Hurt Syndicate. Is this going to cause problems? I mean, I wouldn't have thought so.
No, I get the feeling it's going to be let's do this.
Do you know what I really want? MVP's number 3.
Yes, that'd be so good.
That'd be so funny. The only other members that we do know are in this match right now is Ricochet, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey. Although there was an issue with Speedball Mike Bailey last night where it looked like he might have had his bell rung a little bit by Shelton Benjamin, where he didn't kick out and the rest still pulled, and it was like, oh dear, that's a bad look.
Oops.
What are you doing, Paul Turner?
And then he just ended up losing anyway, so it didn't make
any
difference.
Do you notice he was to the same move?
But whether that finish had to change if he was
in a good
Paul
shape. Turner should have counted the 3.
Should have, You gotta call it as you see it.
Yeah.
The camera was in just the wrong place.
So a lot of people are saying that the AEW has 28 titles already, and they're implementing a national championship. This is, I'm not 100% certain the history, but this is an old NWA title that was defended on TBS. I believe the last time was 1986 before it was merged with the United States Championship. Don't quote me on that one, but I think that's what the circumstance of that belt was. So we hadn't seen this title on TBS since 1986.
That's pretty cool.
That's 39 years? Yeah.
And to be fair, there are a lot of championships, but the scale of the roster and the skill of the roster kind of supports it. It doesn't feel like we're like flooded with title matches every week.
No.
So I
No,
don't
exactly.
think it's a problem.
Exactly. And obviously Tony Khan can't be able to flack for this, but he did say in an interview, he spoke with Billy Corgan, the owner of the current NWA iteration. Billy Corgan's on board with it.
Great.
He loves it. He thinks it's great. Because it's a heritage title. It's not anything to do with NWA route. It's the old heritage NWA title you're looking at. So I'm kind of psyched for this. I do like the Casino Gauntlet matches. I think they are fun. They're great. They're chaos. They're hectic. But just due to the lack of, we only know 5 participants.
Yeah. You can't really
I need a bit more than that. I need a bit more than that to go on. So, in terms of predictions here, this, I think we played it this way before, where if we predict someone who is already announced for the match, so we're going to pick from one of the 5 that's already announced. If it's one of those that wins, we get a point. If it's not, we don't get a loss on the card because it's kind of odds are against us a little bit.
But if it's a win, then you get the point because what are the chances?
Exactly, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
So, that being said, who you got?
Remind me the 5, please.
Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Ricochet, Kevin Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey.
Okay, out of those, I'm going to go Shelton Benjamin.
Shelton, okay.
I don't really have much logic, but if you can go from number 2 to winning, I think, yes, that would be good.
So, just to refresh the rules, not everyone needs to be eliminated. It's first pinfall or submission at any point during the match.
So it could win. It could be the end just between Bobby and Shelton. So picking one of those is probably a good bet, other than if it goes too long, they get gassed.
I'm going for...
Oh, we're going to Ricochet. All right.
I'm going Ricochet. He came into the AEW back at All In 2024. After a, how can I put this? In the nicest terms possible, very lackluster run in the other company.
Yes.
Because they didn't see his worth. Ricochet has been tearing it up with everyone he's in the ring with since he hit AEW.
Absolutely.
He has been phenomenal. And as much as a great talent, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, they've had titles in AEW.
True.
Ricochet hasn't yet. And I think this would be a really nice title to put on Ricochet to be like, hey, you know what? This guy is a star. Screw you, WWE. You drop the ball with this guy. We're running with it.
And he will be insufferable.
And you just know that the Gates of Agony aren't going to be far behind. If they're not in the match themselves as well. Because we don't know. That's the problem.
Who knows?
But yeah, I'm going Ricochet, and I think that will be great.
Awesome.
Next match we're going to talk about then is for the AEW Women's World Championship, which sees Kris Statlander defend against 13 belts Mercedes Mone. 13 belts Mone. Okay, so...
I want to change my desired result.
Mercedes Mone has beaten Kris Statlander twice.
Yes.
Can you tell me how many times Statlander's beaten Mercedes Mone?
Tell me it's twice.
No, it's 0.
It's 0, okay.
It's 0
times. It was either twice or 0.
It's 0 times. So this sort of came around after the match last month at Wrestle Dream. Kris Statlander defeated Toni Storm to retain the AEW Women's Championship. Mercedes Mone got impatient, went to the ring. Her music hit, Statlander still in the ring. They have a bit of a face-off. Kris Statlander's like, I've just been in the match. I'm not getting into this. Gets out of the ring. Out comes Mina Shirakawa with the Ring of Honor Women's title. Mercedes Mone beats Mina Shirakawa for that women's title. Kris Statlander returns the favor by coming in and interrupting Mercedes Mone's celebration. As such, this match was born the next night, the next Dynamite episode, which was 4 days after, 3 days after, whatever it was. There's been back and forth. Obviously, they were both in the Blood and Guts match. Last night, Red Velvet returned from injury. So as it stood prior to Dynamite last night, Mercedes Mone was the interim Ring of Honor Women's Champion. She did beat Red Velvet to become the full undisputed Ring of Honor Women's Champion.
Yeah.
So when a champion in AEW or Ring of Honor goes down with an injury and it does not get champion for a massive amount of time, they tend to do this interim thing. So the champion still retains that title in a sense, but an interim champion is crowned in there. And obviously that was Mina Shirakawa. When that champion comes back, they have the right to go back in and try and defend or regain that title of sorts and kind of merge the two together. Unfortunately, Mercedes Mone wins it, so she's still 13 belts Mone.
Boo.
As such, then obviously Mercedes gets on the table because Kris Statlander's on commentary. They got into a bit of a brawl. Mercedes Mone ends up sort of holding the title, and Statlander's kind of shoved it out of the arena by the referee. Which, like, but she's got a title that's theft. How about you go and sort this out, Aubrey?
Yeah.
Haven't really got much else to say about this one.
No. Nah. I really, really don't want Statlander to lose her title, let alone to Mercedes. It would. It's that thing of like, she's got 13 belts. Are they just going to keep piling on until there's nothing left? And it's only when she's at the top of the mountain that she starts to fall, or is there a point where it will start turning? I don't know if it's just because I want it. But if Kris Statlander could beat her, it gets 1 win over 2 failures, proving Kris Statlander's view that she's a different person. She's changed a lot, grown a lot. And it starts the downfall of Mercedes Mone. She's got so much.
Now, I'm going to throw a little cat amongst the pigeons here.
Okay.
We thought that when Toni Storm beat
I know. I think it all the time.
And now she's doubled her belt since that point, I think.
True. I'm going Statlander to win. I don't think I can face it otherwise.
Quite fun. Who am I going for?
Statlander? Yes, Statlander.
I'm going Kris Statlander as well. I think that whilst this whole, obviously Mercedes Mone has 13 titles and it's good for the independent scene.
Yes.
In terms of they've got their belts on a national syndicated TV show because AEW is not an indie. It's not an independent company. It has a syndicated television deal, which makes it not an independent.
Yep.
Unlike some of the comments we've had previously, just saying some people did call us AEW indie marks. AEW is not an independent company.
Nope.
I think that this women's championship should be Mercedes Mone's white whale. The thing that she cannot overcome for many, many times.
That'd be good.
She's already lost to Toni Storm.
Yeah.
She couldn't overcome Toni Storm to win it. Kris Statlander's had this belt since All In, which is what, July, August, September, October, November. So 4 months. She's done a really good job of it so far.
Yeah.
To solidify this as a great title run, I feel she needs to overcome Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
Beat the person she's never beaten.
Beat her white whale.
Beat her white whale in a sense, yes.
Yes.
So by doing that, you solidify Statlander as a champion.
Yes.
As a credible champion,
Mm-hmm.
as a credible threat to anyone in that locker room. By beating someone with 13 titles, that really ramps you up.
Yeah.
Number 2, establishes an ongoing, potentially very long-running story for Mercedes Moné.
True.
Which stops her, and I already know what some people are going to say. She's already stagnant. She's always annoying. But this does also stop her from stagnating.
Yeah.
Because once you've won the women's world title,
where do you go?
Where do you go?
Mm-hmm.
By doing that, and then obviously the chink, it'll be like, oh, I can't win this belt. And then she starts losing the other ones.
Yeah.
It's because I can't win this belt. It's because I can't win this belt. And then maybe a year down the line, she gets it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's that long burn storyline.
But
She
it
will
could be
lose
like
a chunk of those belts, and then she will be able to evaluate herself, grow within herself,
yeah,
and then overcome that white whale.
and that'll be a huge emotional moment
For her, yes.
Ooh.
For us, in a very different way.
Yeah, but at least hopefully in that timeline she'll have lost a lot of belts, so that would
Yeah.
be nice.
And who knows? I mean, to be fair, with some of the talent she is facing, she has picked up some new tricks.
Yes.
She is getting better.
Yeah, she's
But when
definitely
you're
better
low,
than she used
but
to
when
be.
your point is down here and you're right here now, it's still better than down here, but you're not up here somewhere.
Yeah.
So she is getting better.
The trouble is, like, because of how rubbish we found it.
It's the
before,
stigma, isn't it? She's got a
it's
stigma.
like
around
that's
her.
stuck in our head. So she does get better. She is getting better, but in our mind, she's still
Sucks.
yeah. But
Yeah.
acknowledgement. To
I
hard work
think
and
it would
talent.
be a very, very, very bad idea to pull this belt off Statlander.
Yeah.
And give it to Mone.
I agree.
And I hope TK sees it the same way, and that's what I'm predicting. I'm predicting Statlander's return.
Yay.
And it's not as I would either. Okay. Next match then for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. We've got Brodido, which is Brody King and Bandido, taking on FTR.
Mm.
So FTR, they beat the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Jurassic Express on Fright Night Dynamite to become the #1 contenders. I figured it was going to be Bucks. It probably should have been the Bucks, but hey ho. And then at Blood and Guts, in between the matches, FTR came out to interrupt Ricky Steamboat, and they did start to assault him. They were going to spike pile driver Ricky Steamboat, who's nearly 73 years old. Out comes Brodido, Brodido
Yep.
for the save, thankfully, in that sense. And there's not really been much more interaction or sort of what's what I'm looking for? Interaction? No. Altercations between them in terms of in the ring and whatnot. There's been like segments here and there in terms of in the back and whatnot. Again, I don't remember everything, but it's not been a massive build up to this one. But it's certainly not going to be a bad match at all.
Nope.
And you've got Brody King and Bandido, who have been tearing it up, to be fair. Obviously, they won the titles at Forbidden Door.
Yes.
We were there. And FTR are like, what, 10-time tag team champions? They are literally one of the best in the world. You cannot dispute that.
Nope.
They are a fantastic team as well. Just got to watch out for Cash's gun. What? Huh?
Oh no.
So, I mean, there's not really much else to say about this one, apart from it's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was the sub-headline match.
Yeah.
Underneath the world title. The tag team title scene in AEW is on fire right now.
It really is.
It's so good. Yeah. Any thoughts?
I think you've said it all. It's going to be great.
They've got to watch out for Stoke.
Yeah, Stoke is annoying.
Brodido really needs to bring out Grandido
Yes.
to neutralize Stoke.
Mm-hmm.
Or Cisdido or Momdido. Well, I think Gravity is Bandido's brother. I think it's Gravity.
Think so.
I think that was his brother. So they could have him out to try and neutralize Stokely as well.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, Stokely will get involved.
Yes, you will. I'm gonna go with Brodido to win though and retain.
Okay.
I feel like they're on too much of a run, but I mean FTR is just really good, but they could easily slip up by being overconfident, or there's loads of things they could do. So I go with Brodido.
Okay. I'm going FTR.
Oh.
As good as this team is,
Mm-hmm.
Bandido is still the Ring of Honor World Title holder.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that that's kind of almost getting neglected a little bit.
Okay.
Now, we don't watch Ring of Honor, but I feel that as long as he's AEW Tag Champ, I feel that Ring of Honor World Title becomes a secondary title.
Mm-hmm.
That shouldn't really be the case. And I think that as much as I'd like Brodido, I prefer Brody King as a singles.
Mm-hmm.
And FTR have a lot more credibility as tag team.
Yeah, fair enough.
Plus, they have Stoke.
They do.
Who doesn't have hose.
He has no.
Just saying. And that's kind of the downside of it is that I feel that FTR has a lot more chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of was a fluke victory that they won that Forbidden Door. Let's be perfectly honest. I can't remember who they fought at Wrestle Dream. And obviously they retained at All Out in that ladder match as well against the Young Bucks, Jet Speed, and Alexander Hedgesero. But the problem with that is Brodido is obviously, or Bandido is a high flyer, and you get up the ladder quite easy, unless he was the one that pulled on the belt. But I don't know, I feel that there's something, I can't put my finger on it, there's something telling me that FTR's winning this.
Okay.
I don't know why,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of do, and I kind of don't want it at the same time.
Yeah. Go with your gut, intuition.
Yeah. Yeah, and as much as this match is going to be great, it's going to be a phenomenal match. We haven't really got much else to say about it.
Nope.
So we're going to move on to the next one. While I take a drink.
It's drink time.
Oh, yeah. So, interestingly enough, not my most anticipated match of the night. Defending the AEW World Championship in a steel cage match, we see Hangman Adam Page taking on Samoa Joe from the Ops. Trio champ. So, Joe beat Bobby Lashley, Ricochet, and Hook at Fright Night.
We sound more like Mickey Mouse than Ricochet for this fight. Tell me I'm wrong.
I've just been insulted, ladies and gentlemen. So he beat those four at Fright Night Dynamite to become the number one contender. He obviously was in the ring and he asked for the contract to be signed there and then because he wants to just get it signed out the way. Tony Schiavone comes in, he's kind of interviewing him, he gives him the contract, he signs it. They're having a bit of an interview thing. They start bringing out all these mascots because it's Halloween time. And Joe's like, wait, I've seen this before. One of these guys is Hangman. Shibata, Hobbs, do me a favor, help me clear this lot out. So they take out all the mascots, and none of them are Hangman Page. Tony Schiavone gets back in the ring, or we thought it was Tony Schiavone. And it turns out it's Hangman Adam Page in Tony Schiavone Halloween costume.
It's very good.
It was incredibly good. It made me double take, and I was like, wait a minute. That hair's not right. Wait a minute. That's Hangman. And that was incredible.
It's really
low blowed, I think it was Hobbs. I think he low blowed Shibata. And then he obviously starts attacking Joe. Fast with the blood and guts, you've got Hangman Adam Page is taking on Powerhouse Hobbs in a Falls Count Anywhere match. They get back to the ring. Hangman Adam Page wins the match, but he's attacked by the Ops. And Joe's telling them, bring the cage down, bring the cage, the blood and guts cage, bring it down. So he starts bringing the cage down. Out comes Eddie Kingston to even the playing field with Hook. Ops run off. Hangman grabs a mic and he's like, oh, you messed up. You wanted me in a cage that bad? You're going to get it. Because at Full Gear, we're doing this in a steel cage. And Joe's like, oh, damn it, what have I done? Because historically, you look back at what Hangman Adam Page does in steel cage matches, and that's not somewhere where you want to be caught with the Hangman.
Nope.
Brief side note, this is the third year in a row where Hangman Adam Page has had the same opponent at Wrestle Dream and Full Gear.
Interesting.
So in 2023, it was Swerve Strickland. In 2024, it was Switchblade Jay White. So we fought them both at Wrestle Dream and then fought them again at Full Gear. And obviously this year it's Samoa Joe. I wonder why that is.
Is it coincidence?
I don't know.
Or is this just a thing
It
now?
feels like too much of a coincidence.
Yeah.
You know?
Twice is coincidence. 3 times.
It's kind of hitting you in the face with a sledgehammer with obviousness. Yeah. yeah, obviously then we had Hangman and Page last night on Dynamite. He took on Katsuyori Shibata, beat him. Joe was on commentary, and after the match, Hangman does make some quite flippant remarks at Samoa Joe, especially the one about, oh, you're on commentary again, all you need is a poncho. Referencing the time where Samoa Joe was a commentator at WrestleMania and that tropical storm hit and he was sat at ringside in a poncho. Awkward. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of, I kind of enjoyed not seeing these guys get to each other and beating the hell out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like they're both chomping at the bit. They want to get at each other, but they're restraining themselves, waiting for full gear, waiting to set foot in that cage. And they're just going to literally just rip into each other so much during that match. And it's going to be incredible.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. It's going to be violent.
Oh, yeah. Obviously, the Ops will probably try and get involved. We'll probably see Eddie Kingston and Hook sort of interject somewhere. But that's going to be great.
Yeah, at least they got equalizers.
Exactly, yeah. Any other thoughts?
No, it's going to be amazing. It's like, it's a different brand of violence, Hangman's violence, to like Jon Moxley's violence.
I don't know, man. Did you see that cage match with Swerve?
Well, yeah.
With the needle?
But it sort of feels a little different.
It does. Well, yeah.
Somehow.
No forks.
No forks. No plastic bags. No, this is gonna be great. I can't remember what Joe's like in cage matches, but I know what Hangman's like, and that says enough.
I remember the last time Joe was in a cage match on this.
I'm sure he can hold his own.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Joe could hold his own in any kind of match, let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Absolute monster. Who you got?
I'm going to go Hangman.
Hangman to retain?
Yes. I think I don't know, I just don't see it ending in a cage match for him. Mm-hmm. I could be very wrong, like I am with all of these, because limited understanding and memory and all sorts. So I think it's the right way to go. But, I mean, Joe's not going to come off looking weak. It's going to be
he didn't come off looking weak when he lost at Wrestle Dream. No. But then he flipped the script and turned heel.
Yeah.
Not quite sure why they did that one.
He's a mystery.
I'm going the same though. I'm predicting Hangman to retain. Mm-hmm. As you said, I just don't see it coming to an end just yet.
No.
He literally had a lot of year-long storyline over a year to get back to the top of the mountain, to get that title back. Mm-hmm. And I can't see them just dropping it this soon. It'll be something very big and something a lot more impactful. When it does inevitably happen, because it will happen. It just depends on when. Hey, Rex.
That's going to be on your notes now.
Kiddo. Okay, so then that brings us to the most anticipated match for title matches of the night for me, which sees, in a no disqualification match for the TNT Championship, Kyle Fletcher defends against Mark Briscoe. Now, I never thought a match with Mark Briscoe would ever be my most anticipated match.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, well, it's because we saw Joe and Hangman last month at Wrestle Dream. But we also saw Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe at Wrestle Dream.
Yeah.
So that kind of throws that out as well. But to be fair, Kyle Fletcher is on an astronomical rise right now.
Absolutely.
Absolutely incredible rise right now. He's defended the title 9 times, I believe, so far. If he retains at this event, he will become the most successful TNT champion in the history of the title.
Yes.
This is the 6th time that Mark Briscoe and Kyle Fletcher will meet. Fletcher has won 3 out of those matches, and Briscoe has won 2.
Okay.
So they're almost even.
Yeah.
If Briscoe were to win this, they would be level pegging. Now, so this came around, obviously, during the last match at Wrestle Dream. Kyle Fletcher, being part of the Don Callis family, went to underhanded tactics. When the ref wasn't looking or sort of distracted, I can't remember exactly what happened off the top of my head. Kyle Fletcher did hit a low blow on Briscoe, and I believe then he hit the turnbuckle brainbuster, or it might have been just normal brainbuster, which resulted in the loss for Mark Briscoe and obviously the retention of the title for Kyle Fletcher. Briscoe's obviously a bit peeved about this, and he's like, look, you couldn't get it done without a low blow. How about you give me one more chance? But we make it no disqualifications. So all that BS that you keep pulling is legal. But I can also do it. Level that playing field a little bit. And Fletcher's understandable. He's like, I've already beaten you. I don't need to. Don Callis is saying he doesn't need to. He's already beaten you. But wait a minute. How about this, says Don Callis. If you lose, or rather when you lose to Kyle Fletcher, you join the Don Callis family. And you can almost see Mark Briscoe as a bit like, In for a penny, in for a pound?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to lose. I'm going to win. So yeah, why not? So if Mark Briscoe loses, he joins the Don Callis family. Wow.
This makes it very interesting.
This does make it very interesting, and that is part of why this is my most anticipated match.
Yeah.
Because that's a hell of a stipulation.
Yeah, it's crazy, because without that, you sort of think, oh yeah, my brain.
Carl
Fletcher is going to win. I don't know where Mark came from.
Mark Briscoe.
Wrong person.
You might be thinking Mark Davis.
Yeah, maybe. But put this in there, and you're like, oh, but
it kind of flips
everything.
the script completely. Yeah. Because obviously, no DQ is more Briscoe's wheelhouse.
Yes.
But there's a lot of Don Callis guys too.
Yeah.
And they can legally get involved.
But like you were saying earlier, a lot of the conglomeration already have matches going on.
The conglomeration are more tied up with the Death Riders right now than they are with the Don Callis family.
So it is a lot. And then it sets you thinking, if he does end up having to be part of the Don Callis family, what does that mean? And what does that look like?
Don Callis will make Mark Briscoe wear a suit and a tie. I guarantee it.
And honestly, I think that would be
great.
Really interesting.
Great.
Just like seeing him having to do Don Callis' dirty work, even though he doesn't want to, and that conflict. But then he could potentially even sabotage from the inside. There's sort of a lot you could do with it. So...
Well, we've already seen there's a bit of a split between Konosuke Takeshita and Kazuchika Okada. So, I mean, it kind of does look like Konosuke Takeshita will end up splitting from the Don Callis family at some point. Whether or not, let's say Mark Briscoe does lose and he ends up going in, maybe he gets into Konosuke's ear a little bit and he's like, you don't need these guys, you're better than that. Kind of
could just
helps him to take that first step. Maybe Konosuke Takeshita is the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. You know, that he can stand on his own easily.
Absolutely,
no doubts about that whatsoever.
So, with all that being said, I'm going to put my prediction as Kyle Fletcher.
Okay.
So I think there's so much they could do that I would be really interested to see it happen.
Yeah.
But is it likely? I don't know. But if the stipulation is there, so it's obviously on the table.
So, my concern is that would they push Briscoe into that territory? I am very concerned that they will let Briscoe win the title off of Kyle Fletcher in honor of Briscoe's brother Jay.
There's been loads of stuff to honor Jay. Though,
I know.
right?
I know.
I feel bad, but also it's done a lot.
It's also right. So I'm going Kyle Fletcher.
Okay.
With my desired result.
Nice.
Because I am concerned that they will give that to Briscoe instead.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to see that. I would rather see Mark Briscoe in the Don Callis family having the suckiest time in storyline, because I don't wish any ill will on anyone, obviously. And I think that would be great, seeing something different from Mark Briscoe. Because he's always the same. He's had the same gimmick for the last God knows how many years, 20 years maybe. And it's just like, I want to see something different.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely.
Because it's not like I don't dislike Mark Briscoe.
No.
But he's very small doses to me. He's a small doses kind of guy to me.
Yes.
And putting him in that family, the Don Callis family, and having him completely change the entire character would be phenomenal.
Yeah, I think so. I think it would be a good move.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. Right. So that's all of the predictions.
Sweet.
Now we're going to say, okay, so we'll do this to the end, just in case people haven't seen the video before. We're going to, I'm losing the plot here. What's your least looking forward to match, Leanne, of this entire card?
Oh, I have a little peek, because I can't remember things from 5 minutes ago.
That one's about 45 minutes ago. That was about 40 minutes ago. That was 35 minutes ago.
I think it's probably going to be Pac and Darby Allin.
Yeah.
I mean, we talked about the reasons why it was on your sort of least anticipated in the non-title matches. And I very much agree with them. It's not going to be a bad match at all. Yeah. It's going to be great. But without it's like one of the only ones without stakes, without stipulation.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all right. It'll be a nice go get a cup of tea and watch it calmly kind of match.
I 100% agree. That is obviously going to be that. And sometimes they do change. It might have been the title matches, but that's definitely, I think it just feels like it's lacking something.
Yeah. honestly, if it's like right in the middle, it's quite nice to have a bit of a dip in stuff anyway. So maybe it'll be that.
Yeah, maybe. What's your most looking forward to match?
That's a bit more tricky. I think maybe the Casino Gauntlet one. Because it's very unknown. Who knows what's going to happen? I don't know, actually. It might not be the most looking forward to, but it's the one that popped into head first.
Yeah. I would read, and I just thought about this, actually. I would love to see Killer Cross turn up in that.
Ooh, yeah. It's like anything could happen. But cage matches up there also, and a couple of the others are pretty high up. I'm going to go with the Casino. I'm
having a difficult time choosing between Fletcher and Briscoe and the Trio's $1 Million match. I think, just given that 4 of my favorites are in this match, I'm going to have to go with the $1 Million Trios match.
Cool, yeah.
And obviously the outcome with the Bucks, there's definitely going to be a shift in the storyline there, whereas we don't quite know if there will be with the Briscoe one.
True.
It's speculation. With this, you can tell the Bucks are kind of they're on the fence. They don't want to do the bad thing against Kenny, but they also need the money, and it's very much a will they, won't they? And it's
whichever way the match goes, it's gonna change.
It's gonna be very entertaining. Yes,
absolutely.
Yes. Whereas the Briscoe Fletcher match, if Briscoe wins, damn it.
Yeah.
If Fletcher wins, yes, great, this is great. But it's still that.
Yes.
Cool, awesome. So we will be back with our reactions to this pay-per-view. On Monday. I think we'll be able to get it on Monday. I don't think we'll get it done Sunday because we've got some stuff going on as well. So we'll try and get it on Monday and see how we go. We'll look forward to that one. In the meantime, Leanne is going to take it away.
Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate you. And Rags appreciates you too, even though he's looking the wrong way. Please like this video if you liked it, and hit subscribe and the bell to be notified when we drop new videos. You can follow us on socials. Our link tree's in the description below, which will take you to Facebook, Instagram, and X. You can talk to us there, or you can talk to us in the comments. Let us know what match you're looking forward to the most or the least. What are your predictions? Let us know. I think that's about it. So, until next time, enjoy wrestling. Bye!
Club.